We are ready to take on the day. All right, guys, I was organizing my space this morning. I really just tuned out. I had breakfast. Now we're on our way to Publix and we are going to get more Smuckers because this one, the hazelnut, chocolate hazelnut one, best thing hands down I've ever had. If you have not tried it, it's so good. It's like crack. So we're gonna stock up before the BOGO ends today. And I want to try the strawberry too. I don't know what happened, but the weather is really cold. Okay, it's January, mid-January, and it's freezing outside. Yesterday it was like hot. I know it's Florida, but dang, it's really cold today. And Smuckers, if you're listening, sponsor us. We would happily work with you. How much do you love Smuckers?
It's alright. It's pretty good. It's
right, that's not how we manifest a partnership.
Well, do it again.
All right. How much do you love Smuckers?
It's a 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna keep both of those in there. It takes a lot to amaze him when it comes to food, so don't take it personal. Alrighty, we're at Publix. As soon as we came in, saw some of these. BOGO, getting some. This is on BOGO, and I have never tried it. We always make our chicken from scratch, but I want to give it a shot and see how my stomach takes. It says it's minimally processed, but I feel like everything is really processed. Most things, at least. Maybe I'm just generalizing, I don't know. My stomach can usually detect if it's good or not though, because if it's not good, it will explode. I'm editing this video right now and it was 100% not good. It actually made me and Jamari so sick. So just don't even, I wouldn't recommend. We're sticking to the fresh chicken breast. We cut up, we season ourselves. Our stomachs can't take it. Made it to the Uncrustables. We're gonna stock up on this one. All right, we went ham, y'all. Don't judge us. These strawberries look so nice. This is the haul so far. Yeah, and this. We constantly crave the juices that they have here, like the cold press. So we're gonna pick one on our way out. This is such a good juice. Try it and let me know. Report back if you love it. Secured the bags. Alrighty guys, so we made it home. Everything's been put away. Now I'm gonna make some coffee because I have not made some coffee in a hot minute. Okay, it's been a second. And then I'm gonna let you guys know how this past week has been. It is complete. If you don't deep clean your Keurig machine, make sure to deep clean it. I try to deep clean it once a week thoroughly, and I just cleaned it and it was the most satisfying thing ever. I remember at work we had a Keurig thing and no one cleaned it. No one, okay? I could see remnants and just dirtiness and everyone was just making coffee, having it, and I was like, oh, I cannot, someone needs to clean it. All right, we are here yet again with coffee. Even though I shouldn't be drinking it because I don't know if I can trust myself because I might spill it on these white sheets. Oh well. The free will of being an adult. Alrighty guys, lots to catch up on. It has been a crazy week. I will say, I know we're doing this together, so I know you guys are feeling me. Especially if you have a full-time job and you're trying to manage your full-time job, your house chores, you're feeding yourself essentials, taking care of yourself, bathing yourself, all that stuff. And then on top of it, pursuing your goals full-time. It is a lot of work. It is very tiring. The week flew, okay? And I think it was Friday and I thought it was Wednesday. And the only reason I found out it was Friday was because Jamari mentioned it to me and I was like, what are you talking about? Isn't it Wednesday? And he was like, nope. Time flew. When I tell you it flew, okay? Even this weekend, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost over. Like I get 2 days off, Sundays and Mondays. Yesterday we have our date night. Like that is a non-negotiable. We always have date night. So we did our date night. We went to Disney Springs and stuff, had a good time together. And then, yeah, the day flew. Like right before my eyes. And now it's Monday and tomorrow I go back to work and I'm like, the struggle. So I will say it does take some discipline. Showing up to everything and giving your 100% for yourself, for your goals, and committing to it, it's hard. I know it's going to be worth it in the end though. So that is why we will push, we will persevere. And I saw this video before I got off of TikTok and Instagram, because I'm taking like a pause from it just to focus on my goals, to focus on YouTube, and just have like a mental peace too. I feel like the algorithm that I have specifically on TikTok, I was very sad. Like I would go into a depression and then come out and be fine, and then go into a depression just because of everything that's going on in the world that is horrid. Like there's no word that could describe how horrid everything is the best way. Like even using words to describe what's going on doesn't feel like it does justice at all. We need justice, that's for sure. And yeah, I just like, my mental, not good. It was bad, good, constantly. And the thing is, I've built a community on TikTok. I know it's not a lot to some people. I want to say it's like over 3,000, a little bit over 3,000 followers. And to me, I'm like wanting to post for these people that support me, that follow me. And I think of them as like people, because they are to me. Like you guys are real people. You guys are real like human beings behind the screen. I just want to post because I have these people supporting me. I also want to feel connected to the community and all this stuff. Posting there 3 times a day, or at least 1 time a day, whatever, it became really hard over time because of the events that are going on and all that stuff. And I think that that's where a lot of discipline comes in. I've heard of people talk about this in podcasts and talk about how specifically Rhett and Link is who I'm thinking of. If you watch Good Mythical Morning, or are an OG Good Mythical fan, me too. They talked about how they had to show up and still film, even though they had like a fight or an argument or weren't doing well or whatever. They still had to like go through with filming a podcast. And I think that's something that posting TikTok short form content and doing that, I never want to feel like I'm just putting out something and my energy is off. Like my energy has to be in a good place for me to be like, let me film this video, let me post it. And if it's not, then I don't want to post it, because I don't want to give that energy off. I don't want people to see me like that either, or impulsively say things that I'm going to regret later. Man, this latte is good. I gotta take my ADHD medicine because I'm struggling with focus right now, and I'm like, why am I struggling? I've had such privileged days where I've been consistently taking my ADHD medicine, but I guess because I'm off today, I forgot to take it. And that's why I'm struggling to really stay on topic here. What was I talking about? Oh, the discipline. Okay, so the discipline of showing up even when you don't feel good, that's a struggle. Especially if you have to show up on the camera. So haven't worked through that one yet, but I will say being off of TikTok and Instagram has helped me be able to film YouTube videos, because YouTube, you film once a week. So at least I do. I don't know how many times y'all are filming, but I'm filming once a week. Okay, that's all my storage can take. And so me taking that time to film, I don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm not feeling so good. If I'm not feeling good 6 days out of the 7, that's fine. I just need 1 day where I'm good and I can film a video. So the work-life balance and the balance between filming and feeling good and still taking care of everything and having like peaceful time with YouTube is really, really all there for me. And I love that about posting on YouTube and doing long form content, is the fact that I can just be like, see you guys for 6 days. Like I'm doing me for 6 days. Let me just film for a few hours or an hour or so, whatever, once a week. Like I can totally do that. That is doable. But with TikTok, I would be filming 3 times a day, and you don't know catch me in the morning. You know, sometimes I'm a little cranky danky, and so that might not work. It was a lot harder to be more consistent on TikTok when my energy and stuff was being so impacted by the algorithm that I have on TikTok. Instagram, I will say, the algorithm is a vibe. All the dogs, all the good, funny content I have on Instagram, it is just rainbows and butterflies. TikTok, it is just pure, it's so sad. It is horrid. So yeah, if you're taking a social media break, right there with you. And it feels good. It feels really good to just focus on what I can control and, you know, just disconnect and connect with myself again. Take care of my mental health. Now to talk about Etsy, because some of you guys have been waiting on this. Some of you maybe are just here for the vibes. If you do not know, I opened my Etsy store, actually I want to say almost a year ago. I have not been consistent with it at all with posting listings, and that is one of my goals this year, is to be consistent, to become a star seller, to hit 100 listings. Those are the goals that I have for myself by the end of this year when it comes to Etsy. Figuring out how to market, figuring out how to, you know, drive some organic traffic to my Etsy without spending money on paid ads or whatever, figuring out what words I need to use, keywords, blah, blah, blah. All that process, that's what I'm learning right now. And I have been in it for the past week, just learning and coming up with a process to make the designs, which I have a lot of designs that were already made, and I mentioned that, so I haven't really used any software to make designs really like that because I already had some. I've just had to figure out how to make mock-ups, put the design on the mock-ups, and then make listings, and then figure out how to drive traffic to my Etsy through that. So if that is something that you're interested in and you've always wanted to do, make sure to subscribe because I am sharing everything. I'm not gatekeeping. So I am going to explain to you my process without going too in depth where it's going to be super boring. I'm just going to give you the highlights because I feel like people will make these video tutorials on, oh, this is how I run my Etsy store and all this stuff. I just need the highlights. I'm the type of person that I'll learn by myself. Give me the highlights and I will figure it out and I'll go into the wormhole for every single thing. I do not need to listen for 20 minutes to know what's going on. And I'm saying this because I did my start to finish video and I told you guys I was editing that shit and I was so bored. It's crazy because my sister reached out to me and was like, I love that video, and I was like, maybe it was just me, but I was bored. I tapped out when I was editing that video. I was like, this is horrible, like this is so boring. But I understand that, you know, people that don't know that stuff, it won't be boring to them. So maybe that's just me. I'm gonna try to make it simple, short, and sweet for you guys to understand because I'm just the type of person. So hopefully that helps you. And then research. I'm gonna say right now, okay? If you are struggling to figure out how to do something on a specific software, go on Gemini, DeepMind 3, whatever. Use that as a tool to ask it, how do I do this on this software to accomplish this? Boom, it's gonna give you the steps. And I'm telling you, when you start communicating with AI as if it were a teacher to help you learn things, it is going to be a game changer for you because I have encountered resistance learning specific things this week. And then I thought to myself, why don't I ask AI? And I did. And then boom, I figured out, gave me all the steps and everything. Super simple. I couldn't find one of the buttons that it was talking about. And I was like, where's the button? It told me where the button was. So start speaking to AI as if it were your teacher instead of asking it for a bunch of things. You know, like I think that some people, they utilize AI. And this is where your brain is like, hello, you're not gonna have any critical thinking skills if you're just asking it, make this, make that, blah, blah, blah. think about what you want and then ask it, how do I do this? How do I accomplish this? How could I do this in this software? How could I do this in this software? And then you're actually learning the skill of something versus you being like, you know, get rid of the blurriness, enhance this image, whatever. No, there's softwares out there to enhance images. Ask it, how do I enhance an image in Canva? How do I clip mask in Canva? How do I do this, whatever? Can I do it in Canva? If I can't, what are a list of software tools that are budget friendly that will help me learn how to enhance images myself so that you can gain the skills? That's my spiel on that, because now I'm doing what I was talking about. And that's on take your ADHD medicine, because you would have been on topic. Step one, when it comes to making designs, I get a lot of inspiration from just things that I think of. I like to think of specific niches, whether it's somebody that loves basketball. I am a gift giver that's very meaningful. So when it comes to making designs on Etsy, I like to think to myself that this is a person I'm gonna make a gift for, right? Like, oh, can I make a gift for somebody that loves Puerto Rico? Like, huge fanatic of Puerto Rico. I think of my sister, we're Puerto Rican, and we are proud, baby. We are so proud of that. Very patriotic, very like boy in the house. We are not ashamed of it. And I will say though, out of all the family members, my sister, she has won the award for most patriotic Puerto Rican in the family. I think to myself, like, what gift could I make her? Like, what's a design that I would make someone like my sister? Like, what's something that's not really out there, that's showcasing the Puerto Rican culture, showcasing like the pride, and it's minimalistic and it's still, you know, very niche for Puerto Ricans that love minimalism, or there's Puerto Ricans that are into the kawaii theme and stuff. So why don't we dive into there? Like, that is my design process, and me thinking, what designs could I make for what a theme, what occasion, what type of person? Because with Untamed Brain, I thought about that name for my shop a long time ago, because growing up, I just did not really fit in ever. Like, I went to church, didn't feel like I fit in ever. I feel like I always was that person that was the black sheep, that was like looked at as, you know, you're fucking crazy. That's horrible, but it's so true. People would ask me like, am I on, you know, DRUGS? I was in middle school. I just love life, and I'm maybe, you know, I'm a little different, a little quirky, a little outside the box, because I can't tell you how many times I've said, you know, I'm sure you can relate to this. This happens to me all the time. And there's like 5 people in the room and they're like, that's never happened to me. And I'm just like, oh shit, my bad. I guess it's just me. So when it comes to the Untamed Brain, bringing it back to that, I just feel like it explains me as a person. And I know that there's so many people that just don't feel like they ever fit the mold, especially the church scene, I'm not gonna lie, and feel like they are that person that's so unfiltered, so just like, you say what's on your mind. You cannot hold back. You are thinking it. If you're not saying it out loud, your face is saying it. Like, you can't control yourself. That's just how it is for some of us, and that's me. So coming up with the name Untamed Brain, and then thinking of it as a brand, I thought of it as like where you can find something for everyone. And my goal is to have so many designs and so many products that fit everyone, like every single person that's felt like left out, or, you know, not really like they fit in or whatever, that they can resonate with those designs and be like, oh my gosh, this fits. Or just a one-stop shop for gifts too. Like, oh, I want to find a gift that's really thoughtful and very specific. I can find it here. You know what I mean? So that is my drive for the business, the brand, And then to go branch out further, I do want to add in the future, like donating. And I'm still trying to figure out like how that will work. Making designs specifically for organizations, like to support targeted things that are passionate to me, like targeted groups of people that, you know, would benefit from having donations or whatever. Like that's a whole tangent. That's the brand that I have, and that's the drive and the meaning behind it is very personal to me. And so find what drives you and figure out what your niche is for your store. That would be my first thing for you to do, is like figure out a name and then figure out a slogan or what you want your brand to represent and drive off of that. Like, yeah. So that's on that. When it comes to the design process, that's my drive behind it, is just figuring out, like, thinking of a gift, you know? That's me. And then I utilize Canva Pro. I use Procreate at times if I need specific things. I'll draw out things that come in my head where I'm like, I really want this, but this does not exist, so I have to draw it. I have an Apple Pencil and I have a mini iPad. That's what I use. I've had my iPad for a really long time, and she's getting me all the use that I need. And then I have Adobe Express. I will say I don't use often, but it did save me with one design where I needed a King of Hearts and I needed to vectorize the image. Could not find it in Canva Pro. What I wanted, like a really good high quality, and I found it in Adobe Express. I haven't really dug into Affinity, so that's something I need to tap into. And I would recommend that if you can't afford Adobe, or if you don't want to pay for it, okay, I relate. Try Affinity. Everyone's saying that, or everyone said for a long time, because people have told me too, that it's just like Adobe, but it's free. So use that. And there's other tools that help graphic designers make designs with AI. And one I want to mention is the one that I subscribe to, that is called Kittl. It's the hype all over YouTube. Like when I looked for ideas and I was just researching like how people make designs, all this stuff, Kittl kept coming up, and it has a really good reputation. A lot of people are saying that the AI is super good on there, and it's crazy what it can come up with and how quick it is. I still haven't really dipped my toes fully in there. I've used the image enhancer and I like it. I will say that sometimes the image enhancer isn't as good as like the mock-up that I make in Gemini. Images won't look good with the image enhancer when I add the design to it. So that's where I'm like, it depends, you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. As far as making designs, if you don't have any, I would say Kittl is worth trying and starting to make designs. What you can do on there is really crazy. Like you have all these templates, you go into that design and you say, make this design, use this design style and make this blah, blah, blah. And then it'll do it super quick. It's insane. So you can really pump out some designs in there. I can't wait to tap into that. I have not tapped into it though yet, because I'm so specific, and so I do other stuff. I make like vector styles. I'll have like drawing stuff implemented in the design that I drew, and then yeah, that's just how my brain works. But to each its own. If AI is for you, with the design process, you would rather use AI to like produce images and graphics and just utilize templates and for inspo, Kittl, site up. Try Kittl. And then as far as getting mock-ups, if you have a Y2K anime style theme kind of thing, streetwear kind of style, Maki.ai has a lot of mock-ups that you can use that fit that niche very well. So I will say, check it out. I paid for 1 month, and then I just felt like a lot of the images did not fit my style, my niche. I could download, and this is what I did. I downloaded a bunch of images from there just so that, one, I can get my money's worth because I pay for a month. And then I can put those images into Gemini and up the lighting, change a little bit of like the background or whatever, zoom out, have Gemini zoom out or whatever, make it into mock-ups, photos that I would use. So you can do that too. I don't think that it's worth a subscription, like a long term, just because I personally feel like if that's not your niche, I think it's worth it if it is your niche, but if it's not, I don't think it's worth it, just because you have to pay for credits or like use extra credits to change backgrounds and stuff like that. When I saw that, that's when I canceled, because I was like, why am I needing credits to do things that I should be able to do with a subscription if I'm paying for a subscription? That doesn't make any sense. So I did not like that part of Maki.ai, and I did see a lot of reviews where people were saying the same thing. And then one really big part as far as like getting mockups, I get them from Maki.ai. Some of them I've used. And then I will say Canva Pro, 100% worth it. If you do not have Canva Pro, sign up for Canva Pro, thank me later, because it's so good. They not only have AI that you can use in there, you can also do clipping mask in there. They've implemented other apps that allow you to do specific things that you can do in Procreate, but you can actually do it in Canva, which is so cool. And the price for Canva Pro is 1000% worth it. Now they also have mock-up photos where you can add your image and then have it put on there. You just have to, a lot of like the images that they have don't have a back view. Just upload that picture and ask Gemini to make a back view picture with a plain white t-shirt or whatever. And then if you need a specific color shirt and you want to change the color of the shirt, from Printify, download the image of that shirt in that specific color, send the picture of the mock-up to Gemini, and then say, change the color of the shirt to this color, and send the shirt picture. It'll change it to that color. So that's a little hack how you can come up with the mock-ups with not just the white shirt, because in Canva, it's all white shirts. And so that might become a struggle when you're like, I want to show the shirt in this color and I want to show it in this color, but I want this mock-up, it's just a white t-shirt. That's a hack in Gemini that you can do. And then QR code generators. Canva Pro has it for free. I learned the hard way because I made a QR code and I mentioned it to you guys. I added it to my listings and I did it with like a free QR code from Google. And then all of a sudden they said you have to pay $35 a month for the QR code. And I had to change the QR code on all of my mock-ups and create a QR code in Canva Pro for free, included with my subscription. Lesson learned. That was a lot of work. And yeah, so if you want to make a QR code, generate a QR code, Canva Pro allows you to do that for free. You can edit it, make it your own style. You can add it to your listings, whatever the case may be, just to drive people to your shop. And then, what else? Oh, big issue. Now, the last thing is making the mock-ups and then getting the design onto the t-shirt to make it look realistic, to go with the waves of the shirt and all this stuff. I use Recraft.ai to do that. And that allows you to change the image to a mock-up, and then you will be able to put the design onto the t-shirt or mug or whatever you have, and it will warp it into the same shape as that item, and it'll look realistic. So I really struggled learning that last part, and I'm gonna say to you, do what I said minutes ago. Go on Gemini and ask it, how do I do this? I was breaking my head for 2 days trying to figure out how to upload the design to the t-shirt and make it look realistic and make it mold like with the shirt and the waves of the shirt, whatever. And then it came to me and I was like, let me just ask Gemini how to do it. How do I, on Recraft software, upload my design onto my mock-up and make the design warp into the shirt, like actually press into the shirt and look realistic? Immediately it gave me the step by step how to do it, and I did it. Game changer. I could have just asked AI how to do it, and now that I know that, I've been able to ask AI how to do other things, and I've been learning the skill of using AI. So don't fall into the, oh, I'm just gonna ask it to make this for me and make this for me. Ask it to teach you the skills, and you will become very skillful. And that is what we need for the future. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm getting old. I'm 29. Have it teach you what it knows, and then you can be all powerful. That's the quickest part, okay? You upload your mock-ups and your pictures and everything, like the best keywords and all that stuff. And I also use that sheet that I went over in my other video where I was like, this was my brain process and blah, blah, blah. Free shipping, free listing, this is what I observed. I will tweak it and add those keywords because I know based off of me looking at other listings that those are the top sellers. That's what they have, is them saying bestseller, them saying free shipping, them saying stuff like that. Customize, personable, or not personable, personalized, all that stuff bumps them up in the Etsy world. So start using the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Start looking at what they're using and then start using it. And with that, I hope that wasn't too educational and boring for you guys. Hopefully it was entertainment. I love you for making it to the end of this video, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And with that being said, I also wanted to mention that I uploaded 13 listings in 7 days. My goal was 1 listing a day, uploaded 13. I love you guys so much. Have a great week. Bye.